Hey everybody, it's Taz. I haven't seen you guys in a while and I thought I would make a video for you today. It's been so crazy around here with the holiday season coming. I had a birthday and my husband surprised me with a small trip to Las Vegas for my birthday. And so it has just been crazy. My intention was that I would get a video out to you with all of the wigs that I was taking to Las Vegas and maybe take some live footage and something really fun. And then time just got away from me and then I would forget, and I'm just not accustomed to sort of blogging on the run. But I want to share with you today some of those wigs that I took with me on vacation and kind of give you an update on how things work out at the airport. So I appeared to you today here with my natural hair so that we can go through a tour of those Las Vegas wigs. And what a fun thing to go to Las Vegas. You can just be whoever you want to be. You don't have to conform to any kind of stereotype or rule there. And it was just a lot of fun to work with all of my different wigs that I took. So it just also gave me a great opportunity to wear some of the long wigs that might not be practical for the office, but that are so much fun. So stay with me here while I get changed and give you a tour of my Las Vegas wigs. Okay, so first up, this is Wiki by Ellen Villa in the color Champagne Rooted. And I absolutely love this wig. It's so comfortable and lightweight. It's very soft, yet it has lots of volume and texture. And I just love that. This is the wig that I wore to the airport. I don't think everybody loves to travel, but I don't think everybody loves to fly. I am one of those people. I'm definitely not afraid to fly. But all of the hassle of flying just drives me crazy. And so I wanted to select a wig that I would be comfortable with in the airport, and that I would be comfortable with on a 4.5-hour flight from Ohio to Las Vegas. We had a nonstop flight on Frontier out of Cleveland. And a no-frills airline. It's not, the seats aren't very comfortable. You have to pay for everything, and but we did get a pretty decent airfare. So when I was going through TSA this time, and many of you have probably worn wigs through the TSA checkpoints and things, I've never been stopped before, and I certainly have never been asked to remove my wig. And I always wondered if anybody has encountered that. So this time that I went through TSA, flying out of Cleveland to Las Vegas, I went through the metal detector. You know how you put your hands up in the air and they have to take a picture. And I stepped out on the other side, and the TSA agent that was sitting there watching the monitor says, "Oh no, we have a problem." And I'm like, what? I took off my shoes. I didn't have any jewelry on. I didn't have anything in my pockets. So I waited to see what he was going to tell me, and he said, and I asked him what the problem was. He said, look at the monitor, and the monitor was just glowing as if I had a full metal jacket on. So there was a couple of lady TSA agents that came over and asked me if I would like to go to a private room while they do a full and complete frisk. I opted not to do that because we were sort of in a hurry and I knew I didn't have anything to hide. So they did their pat down and things like that. And then there was another lady TS agent that came through, and she says, you know, you're about the 5th person today that we've had to stop and do this to. She said, the sweater that you have on has metallic threads in it. And this is very popular around the holiday time. Especially those Christmas sweaters. Well, this is the sweater I was wearing, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's this gray metallic yarn, very shiny, that's run through this whole sweater, and so that's what tripped the TSA, and it just glowed like fireworks. So no, I'm not a terrorist, but they are doing their job, and I was more than willing to participate in that frisk. Because I know they're here to protect us. So just a lesson to everyone that's flying around the holidays, gals, don't wear the sweaters that have the metallic threads in them. So it might just give you a little bit of delay getting through TSA. So anyway, back to Wiki. I absolutely love this wig. And this was my preferred wig of choice for like I said, for the airport and for the flight. And always get lots of compliments on it. I mean, I can sleep on it. I can lay on it funny. It just doesn't lose shape just because of all these kinky textured coils there. So this was the first wig that I wore, and I often changed wigs during Las Vegas just because it was so much fun to do that. So if we went out a little bit in the morning, I might wear something a little different in the evening, so on and so forth. So we'll get you to the next wig, and this will be the parade of wigs that I wore during my time in Las Vegas. And I'm also going to attach some still photos of some of these as well. Stay tuned. Okay, can anybody guess what I have on? I have never reviewed this wig before. There's a lot of reviews out on her. This is Julianne by John RENAU, and in the color Shaded Praline 12 SF8. And it is just one of my all-time favorites. I oftentimes put her away. I've had this one for about a year, and I've washed it several times, and as you can see, it's really held up very nicely. But to be fair to say, I don't wear this wig every day. I don't even wear this wig every week. As a matter of fact, when I took it out to take with me to Las Vegas, I don't think I had worn it all summer. And I have so many different styles that I like that each of them don't see a lot of wear, except for my Dolces by Noriko, because that's like an everyday office type of style. And also the editor's pick falls into that category. But this is an amazing wig, and again, I selected it for style and comfort. This cap is amazing. It's 100% hand-tied cap with a full mono top and lace front. I know you guys have seen plenty of videos on this, but it just remains such a classic style from John RENAU. I hope they never cancel this wig, because every time there's an amazing sale, I think I have to get one of these. So I have two of them. This one has seen a lot more wear. And there was a lot of great styling ability here. I kind of took off in the morning on this one. Because it is so comfortable. It swings and moves, and yet it's very stylish, but at the same time very practical. So yeah, in the morning when we were just out walking around and things, getting coffee and having breakfast, this is what I wore out. Everybody thinks Las Vegas is warm, but it was not warm when we were there. We were there last week, and the highs were in the low 50s and the lows were in the 30s. So it was quite chilly. As a matter of fact, looking at the forecast, I packed some sweaters and vests and things like that. Now, being from Ohio, that's certainly not cold by any means, but I did have to still dress appropriately. And so this Julianne just absolutely fits so well with all of my outfits. And another thing I like about her, she just absolutely is shake and go. I comb through it after I'm done wearing it. I'll put some conditioner on it, and I'll comb through it in little sections to be careful not to pull those ends with a wide tooth John RENAU comb, and then I turn it upside down and I shake it, and that just gets all those fibers nice and separated so that when I put it on again, it's just ready to go. What a great investment this wig is. But I wore this scarf the whole time. It's one of those sort of infinity scarves where it doesn't have any ends. It's just like a big circle of fabric. So I was able to wrap my hands in there when we were outside and cold. And it just looked so fantastic with everything I was wearing. Now, because of the time of year that we went to Las Vegas, we didn't do some of the normal things that we normally like to do when we go out there. We've been out there several times. But we like to go to some of the national parks. Red Rock Canyon is an amazing place to visit when you go. Lots of great hiking trails, lots of scenic beauty, and also the west rim of the Grand Canyon is a wonderful little trip to take. We've even been down to Laughlin just to have a little road trip to take. But this time we really didn't do that. The only thing that we really haven't done is go up to Mount Charleston. It is a mountain out there in the Spring Mountain Range, and I think the elevation is right around 11,000 feet. And they did have snow when we were there, and they were doing skiing and things like that. We did not ski. We just kind of went up and took some pictures and drove around. The weather was great. It was sunny every day. It just wasn't very warm. So we do like to gamble a bit. I am a very conservative person. I don't like to spend a lot of money, so you won't find me at the tables. You'll more than likely find me at the penny slots betting like the minimum bet. But it's just to relax and have fun, and it was such a nice surprise that my husband did for me here with this Las Vegas trip. So again, Julianne, I wore her several times, especially in the morning. And a couple times I had pulled it back into sort of just a messy updo, and that is perfect for Julianne because of that hand-tied cap. I just can't see any wefts, and it's just gorgeous. So this is my first wig that I wore when I was there, so stay tuned for more. Okay, next up, this is another wig that I've never reviewed before. There are some reviews out there on it, and I absolutely love this wig. I consider this one of my special occasion wigs. And this is Rachel by John RENAU. And it's a lot like Julianne in that it is completely hand-tied with a mono top and a lace front. It's beautifully done and every bit as comfortable as Julianne. The cap is made the same way. And I just love the 12 FS8, which is the shaded praline. It is definitely my favorite one from John RENAU. So I was able to get to wear Julianne a couple times, and it is just going on to long length from the medium. So if anybody owns like a Heidi from John RENAU, this might be just a tad longer than Heidi, and I also like Heidi very well. So again, this is Rachel. And Rachel is so sexy and so much fun to wear in the evening. You could leave her down in all of these long, loose waves. Or you can put it up in an updo. Which I did one evening. I had on some amazing hoop earrings and a classy outfit, and just had this looking super, super nice for evening. And I had a lot of makeup on, so it was just so much fun to dress up. So again, this is Rachel. By John RENAU. All right. So on to the next one soon. Okay, next up, this is Stevie by AMORE, and the color is Vanilla Lush. I actually bought this one with Las Vegas in mind. I just wanted to have a cute style that was long and straight, and this is not something I would typically wear to the office just because of the maintenance issues, you know, with the tangling and things like that. I tend to gravitate towards medium to short length wigs for the everyday office. So when Heather had this, Heather from Sister Wigs had this on her clearance, I went ahead and snatched it up. I wasn't quite sure about the Vanilla Lush color. All the pictures showed that it was a really bright, bright gold blonde, which I kind of like the neutrals and the ashes more, but this is just amazing. The color is just super amazing. Now, Kim with Let's Talk, you'll have to check out her channel. I will attach a link to her channel. Go ahead and subscribe. She does an amazing job reviewing Stevie by AMORE and looks just fantastic. So she set the bar pretty high as far as I'm concerned with how you can look in Stevie. So Stevie was so much fun, and I wore her a couple times. So here she is. She does have a double monofilament top and an open cap. What is remarkable about this wig is that it's longer, but it doesn't have too much hair. The hair fibers are very fine, and there's just not too much. I would never have to thin this wig or ever even consider it. So let's see if I can back up to where you can see the full length of this wig. It's just gorgeous. And I did pull the sides back just for something different to do with it. And but it can be very easily worn down, and it is very nice that way. Now, a lot of times with monotop wigs, it tends to fall flat on my head, and I like a little bit of lift there. As everybody knows, I'm kind of a big fan of permatease, and this wig just doesn't have much, if at all. So, but what I've noticed is that there is some natural lift here at the crown. It doesn't fall flat, which I'm so pleased about. So like I said, if it does have permatease, it's very little. So I'm going to give you an up close on this color. I've never reviewed this wig before. Like I said, I just got it in. This wouldn't be my typical purchase, but I'm so glad I did. It was so much fun. And this is Vanilla Lush. It is a medium gold blonde base with pale buttery gold blonde highlights. Just gorgeous. And if you notice, the tips are light and sun bleached at the ends. So it's a very dynamic color. So this is Stevie by AMORE. Stay tuned. Okay, up next, this is Seville by Noriko. And I love Seville. She is a beauty and has tons and tons of permatease and lift at the crown, and I love it. The fibers are so amazingly soft and light and feathery. And I think Noriko has some of the most amazing colors out there. Very dynamic. Again, this is Seville, and it's Macadamia LR. So your root comes down a little farther than just like a mochaccino R. And again, it's the same color as the mochaccino R. It just, the Macadamia LR has a longer root, which I think is very striking against a holiday sweater and white. It's very festive. It's mid-length. And the ends kind of flare out a little bit. It just grazes the shoulders. When the bangs, when I first got it out of the box, the bangs kind of tended to flop in the face a little bit. But after a little bit of wear, and what I did was I put it on a head form, and I put a barrette right here. I wetted it down, and I put a barrette right here. And it was there for several days before I wore it. And after that, it just fell into place. So I can easily sweep the bang off to the side. So if you do order a Seville, and you do have issues with the bangs, they are very easily trainable by just putting some cold water on it, pulling it to the side, and clipping it in and leaving it dry that way. You can also take a wig steamer and do the same thing. Again, just a very darling style. I have Seville in two colors. I have it in Macadamia LR, and I also have it in Crimson LR. And even though I didn't take the Crimson LR to Las Vegas with me, I think I may show it to you, just so you can see how beautiful it is. And again, I don't wear a lot of red, and I'm very picky about the red that I do wear. And that Crimson LR is just gorgeous. Medium root, blending into a dark blonde tips. It is so hard to find sunshine and good natural light in Ohio, especially in December. I think this is our most cloudiest month here due to all of the cloud cover from the Great Lakes and things like that. So I'm trying my best to get you some good light. I think this is pretty good. This is a great representation of the color, guys. Soft, silky fibers, Seville by Noriko. Stay tuned. Okay, as promised, this is Seville by Noriko in the color Crimson LR. And again, the longer root area, which is darker, and then it blends into these beautiful auburn tips. It's just a beautiful red color. I did a video on Dolce in this color. I wore it on Thanksgiving and made a video for everybody. Now you'll notice that these bangs are outrageous. They are sticking out all over the place. So again, this goes back to what I talked about. When you get this wig in, the bangs, you can just expect just about anything. So it's just going to be a matter of training them. So grab yourself a clip and get that put over there, stick it on a head form for a while, for a few days, and I assure you that these bangs will not be a problem. So wanted just to give you an idea of this color on Seville. Okay, don't go away. Okay, this is Ivy by Noriko in the color Champagne R. A very light platinum blonde mix with a very dark root. And I took this wig with me, but I confess I did not wear it. I was enjoying some of those really long styles a lot more. I don't get a chance to wear them very much. So even though I absolutely love this piece, I did not wear it in Las Vegas. But I did take it, so I wanted to show you how cute it can look in a scarf. There's something so sophisticated and smart about the perfect short pixie cut. It's so put together. And it looks fantastic with the hat. Are we ready for the slopes? I think it's amazing. And you're not going to hurt Ivy. She is just a standard cap wig. And very, very lightweight and very easy to wear. And as you know, Noriko caps run kind of petite, and that just makes this so comfortable for me. So if you've got a larger head, I understand that some Noriko caps will really stretch out over time, and even though your head circumference may be on the average large side, I think you could probably get away with it. So again, this is Ivy. In this beautiful cap and scarf my sister made for me. I did not take the cap and scarf to Vegas either, just because it wasn't going to be that terribly cold. But if you are in a cold weather climate, I wanted to show you what that would look like. So super, super cute. Okay, stay tuned. We're getting towards the end, guys. And then I want to discuss with you on how I actually transport my wigs when I'm going on vacation. Because if you're like me, you like to take a lot of wigs, but maybe you're not certain about how to pack them to maximize space. Okay, last but not least, this is Carlota SF by Belle Madame in the color Danish Blonde Root. And I did review this wig in a different color earlier this summer, and it was my summer go-to. I wore it quite a bit. So this is the other color that I have in the Danish Blonde Root. The other one is a Swedish Blonde Root, and Swedish Blonde Root is more platinum, while the Danish Blonde Root has more gold, warmer gold tones. But it is that very same blunt, wavy bob cut that I absolutely love, and I cannot find on any other wig or style. So I absolutely love it, and I did take it with me. I think maybe I wore it one time possibly, but Not very often. Again, like I said, I was really into some of those longer styles this time around, and we were there from, we left on Monday and came back on Friday. So just a few days there, enough so that I could change a couple times and get a lot of good use out of those wigs. So here is Carlota SF. And Carlota SF does have a left side mono part and a lace front. I have washed this Carlota lots of times. In fact, I have freshly washed her after I got back, and it smells so good because I used a lavender scented fabric softener. I think it was Snuggle, but lavender exhilaration, something like that. It smells really good. One thing that I can tell you is that you can overdo the fabric softener. I mean, I've washed wigs in fabric softener before and then had to rewash them to remove some of the smell. I mean, too much of a good thing, right? So just be cautious of that. It's a great way to condition your wig though, especially in these winter months when static is so prevalent. Okay. Super cute, guys. All right, so up next, if you'll give me just a moment to change, I'll be right back and we will discuss packing your wigs for vacation. Okay, I'm back. I want to talk with you about how to pack wigs for a vacation. I'll let you know how I do it. I came up with this method on my own simply because I don't like to pay for extra luggage, but I want to take a lot of wig choices with me. So this is a perfect way of packing your wigs to maximize space. So just be right back here. I want to show you with a longer wig, one that has more hair than usual, so that I can show you how much space you can save. So this is my Rachel by RENAU. So you can see where she's a long length, plenty of hair. So what I do, I want the wig to keep its shape. So I can put some of that tissue paper and kind of ball it up and put it right there in the middle of the wig cap. And I don't have any of that right here, but that's okay. The next thing I do is I take the original hairnet that came with the wig, and I wrap the hairnet around the wig as if I were packing it in the box, just to be sure all of the hair is packed away inside of that hairnet, as you can see here, okay? And everybody has one of these, right? This is a gallon bag, storage bag. This one happens to be hefty, but I know that Ziploc also makes one. I think this one is for freezer, but I don't think that matters. This one has a zip closure on it, which I think is important here because what we're trying to do is pull all the air out and then seal it. That's what's going to give us our space-saving ability. So we've got the wig, and I'll put it right inside of the cap. And the reason why we put the tissue paper and the net on the hair is to protect the hair and also to keep its shape, because remember, we're pulling out the air, and so it may lose shape if we don't protect it in some way. And this may not work for human hair wigs. As you notice, I don't have any human hair wigs, and so mine are all synthetic, and this works just amazing. So you see I put it in there. Okay, the next thing I do is I press out all of the air. Okay, press out all of the air, and then I close it about 3/4 of the way through and do it again. I just pull all the air out, and then I completely shut it. Okay, so what you can see, look how thin that is. It's like one of those space bags you see on TV. So this takes up so little space in your carry-on. You could pack it in a box and put it in the carry-on, but again, that box is going to take up space. So if you can just notice how thin that is, and I nestle it in between my clothes and put it right in my carry-on. And I can take 6 to 8 wigs, and you know how light these things are. It's just amazing how many wigs I can bring. But so when I get to my hotel, and I don't know, maybe if you are the same way, but I usually unpack. One of the first things I do is unpack and iron any clothes that have gotten real wrinkled throughout the trip. But I also take the wigs out of the bag and give them a quick fluffing. And after I do that, it's not practical to carry a bunch of wig stands around. So if I know I'm going to be wearing that wig, pretty much immediately I'll leave it like upside down on a robe hook or something like that, just to give it some shape back. But for the most part, I just give it a good fluffing up, and then I lay it back inside of the hairnet and just place it on the bag. I don't put it in the bag, and I don't take out the air again until I'm ready to go back. So this is something I've learned along the way. My wigs have always survived in very good condition, and they always look fantastic going to and from the trip. So thank you so much for watching. It's been such a pleasure being able to present to you all the wigs. I get to play dress up and people watch. I just love it. So I'm happy to help you if you have any questions about that. Again, through TSA, remember, don't wear any metallic threaded sweaters or you're going to get stopped and frisked. And by the way, nobody ever said anything about the wig. They actually showed me the image of where I went through that scanning machine, and I specifically looked at my head just to see if there were any telltale signs of wearing a wig. To my untrained eye, didn't see anything. But again, I was never asked about the wig or asked to remove it or anything like that. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday, and we will talk real soon. I have some more wigs to review. Take care.